This is my second Rise of Skywalker video, and for this video, I am wearing what is apparently my only Star Wars t-shirt, but it is amazing. Suka suka suka, everybody. Let's talk about Rise of Skywalker. If there was one thing that we all saw coming a mile away in Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, it was the redemption of Ben Solo. Some sort of Darth Vader-esque sacrifice that Ben makes after deciding to join the light side again, making up for all of the bad things he's done. So when that happened at the end of Rise of Skywalker, I wouldn't say I was surprised, but I was definitely severely disappointed. Because killing Ben Solo immediately after he turns to the light side is boring. Now, to be fair, at this point in the movie, I did not expect it to surprise me at all, but still, I think there was an interesting opportunity here, because killing Ben is a little too convenient. He does one good thing to make up for all the evil he's done over the course of these 3 movies, and then he dies. A real redemption would be earned, something that takes time and effort. Plus, it isn't like all of the suffering Kylo Ren caused was Palpatine related. So stopping Palpatine shouldn't even out what he's done. Like, if anything, Palpatine kind of came out of nowhere. Like, absolutely nowhere. Like, out of literally nowhere. And I think part of why helping Rey to stop Palpatine made sense as Kylo Ren's redemption is a failure of scale in the sequel trilogy. We don't really know what the First Order has already done or been doing over the course of these 3 movies that doesn't relate directly to our heroes. Like, are they occupying other planets? What are they doing on those planets? Will there be some sort of cleanup associated with them? Are they even aware of Palpatine? Probably not, because like I said, he comes out of nowhere. So if I could make one more small change to Rise of Skywalker, it would be this. Ben Solo should not die at the end of this movie. And here's kind of how I imagine the end of the movie would go. Rey kills Palpatine, she dies in the process. Kylo gives her some of his life force, she is healed. Or maybe this is where Leia gives her life force up to save Rey, or to save Kylo after he saves Rey, or just Ben giving Rey some of his life force does not kill him. So Rey gets up and she offers Kylo her hand, mirroring the end of The Last Jedi. Rey says, "Work with me, train the next generation of Jedi." And Kylo rejects her hand, says no. "There's still a lot of First Order outposts around the galaxy. They won't go quietly. You have your own job to do. Protect the future. Let me take care of the past. You owe it to them." Kylo Ren gets up, walks away from Rey. Rey says, "Goodbye, Ben Solo." And Ben says, "See you around, kid." So then we'll also change a couple of other scenes. Rey's scene at the very end of the movie, which, okay, real quick, what an absolute disaster. There is nothing for her to do there. Luke hated Tatooine. Leia was a prisoner of Jabba's on Tatooine. Why on earth would she go and bury their lightsabers on Tatooine? Bury them at a Jedi temple. Bury them on Ahch-To, the planet that Luke was exiled on. At least it's a nice planet. Luke seemed to like it. Or bury them wherever you ceremonially buried Han. Obviously, his body is gone, but I'm assuming they did something, gave him some sort of grave or something? Leave the lightsabers in the Falcon. That's a nice place. That means something to all of our main characters. Give the lightsabers to Nando or Chewbacca. Give one to Finn, because if J.J. Abrams is to be believed, Finn is force sensitive now. So Ben Solo takes his lightsaber, Rey takes her lightsaber, gives it to Finn, and then makes her new yellow lightsaber, which I'm fine with. I like the idea that she makes her own. So instead of going to Tatooine, the last scene of this movie before the credits takes place on everyone's favorite planet, Cantonica, in the casino city of Canto Bight. We're gonna check back on that little kid from the end of 8 who's running around scrounging for food. Maybe he's not like a slave anymore, but he's still poor. And Rey is going to find him and say, "I've been looking for you." And he'll say, "Who are you?" She says, "I'm Rey." He says, "Rey what?" She says, "Just Rey." Of course. Because also, not to nitpick, not unlike my podcast, mostly nitpicking, please subscribe, it doesn't make any sense that she goes with Skywalker as her last name. She spent like a couple of days with Luke Skywalker. I mean, realistically, she shouldn't have any last name, she should just be Rey, but whatever. The kid recognizes her and says, "Wait, you're a Jedi." She says, "That's right. And I think you can be one too." And he says, "You're really a Jedi?" She says, "Yes." He says, can I see the..." And Rey says, "Yeah, sure." And then she ignites her yellow lightsaber. The kid is in awe, very excited. And then we zoom out, and then Rey takes the kid's hand, and Rey, Chewbacca, and R2-D2, who are hanging out with Rey now because they're friends, walk with this kid into the sunset, and that's the end of the movie. The Jedi have a future, and Rey is going to continue Luke's mission of training the next generation of Jedi. But that's not all, because we still need to wrap up Ben Solo. So I'm going to give Ben Solo a post-credit scene. And listen, you may be saying, Star Wars doesn't have post-credit scenes. Yeah, well, they don't need to be like just setting up sequels. I think of the good post-credit scenes almost like deleted scenes. They add to the story, but would otherwise disrupt the flow of the rest of the narrative. So I think of it as more of an epilogue. So we end episode 9 where the sequel trilogy began, on Jakku. The First Order is still controlling it, like local warlords. They've made a base out of downed AT-ATs and Star Destroyers. And yes, I call them AT-ATs, even though apparently they're supposed to be called AT-ATs, because then what are the AT-STs called? AT-STs? So we'll overhear 2 stormtroopers talking to each other, saying that it's weird that they're still doing this. And then a Captain Kennedy type barks over an order to them. "You don't serve the Emperor, you serve me. And we will continue to keep order in the galaxy. Now go back to your posts." And these stormtroopers walk over to their posts. They hear a sound in the AT-AT. One turns on a flashlight, signals that he's going to investigate, and looks into the AT-AT. And then we see him hit a wall, his light goes out. Not killed, but knocked out. The general barks another order. "What's going on over there?" The other stormtroopers turn on their flashlights and investigate. So then we see everything else from this general's perspective. One by one, all of the lights go out. Then someone lands outside the general's office and walks over to the door. The general takes out a blaster, and a tall figure walks by. It's Ben Solo, and he's dressed however Disney wants to dress him to sell more toys. I assume some Han Solo style with a blaster holster and a lightsaber holster. The general recognizes him, says, "You're..." Before he can finish the sentence, Ben interrupts him. "Give yourself up. It's over." "Never." Then the general grabs his blaster and attempts to assassinate himself. But the blaster bolt is stopped midair by Ben. He force pushes the general out of the way of the blaster bolt, and then he pulls the general over. Ben handcuffs the general, goes down to a holding cell, where a bunch of locals are being imprisoned. He uses his mother's blue lightsaber to cut a door into the cell. The prisoners see Ben. One says, "You're..." Ben cuts in, Ben Solo." "But you're..." "Not anymore." Still shaking, the prisoner asks, Why are you doing this?" And then Ben reaches out his hand to the prisoner and says, "To make things right." This is the redemption of Ben Solo. Not saving one person's life and then dying, doing the hard work to become a better person, fixing the galaxy he helped to break, going planet by planet and destroying remaining First Order outposts, using his gifts for good. And a wise man once said, Star Wars rhymes. And this is why I want to use the line "to make things right." It'll not only be the last line spoken in the sequel trilogy, it was also the first. And that comparison will demonstrate how far Ben Solo has come over the course of these 3 movies, and potentially give him something meaningful to do in the future. Oh, and one more thing. If you want to be more productive, like really productive, like Palpatine levels of cloning Snoke and influencing Kylo Ren, and building a ridiculously huge army of Star Destroyers, just unbelievable plot hole creating levels of productivity, I would highly recommend watching fellow YouTuber Thomas Frank's new class called Real Productivity: How to Build Habits That Last. In it, Thomas talks about setting up goals and also using different systems to keep track of your goals. It's super helpful, and I've already incorporated some of Thomas's techniques into my routines. And if you would like to get a look at Real Productivity and over 25,000 other classes, I would highly recommend checking out this video's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. There are classes in productivity, design, writing, video editing, and so much more. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life so you can move your creative journey forward without putting your life on hold. You can learn and grow with short classes that fit your busy routine. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable, especially when compared to pricey in-person classes and workshops. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. And the first 500 of my subscribers to click the link in this description will get 2 free months of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. Make 2020 a year where you explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity with Skillshare's online classes. What you find might just surprise and inspire you. As always, huge thank you to everyone who continues to support the channel on Patreon. You guys are the best. You want to see your name up here, get access to videos early, other cool stuff like if you want to join the Illuminati right now, which is a Patreon tier that allows you to vote on my monthly whiteboard video where I do like a long conversation. I stream it and then I put it up for all of the patrons to watch. But the group of patrons that decides what that video is called the Illuminati. Anybody that pledges $5 or more a month is part of that group. The January video was about how I would integrate the Fantastic Four into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I did like an hour-and-a-half long video on the 3 movies that I would do, which is super cool. And I just kind of saw a rumor that one of them might be happening the way I kind of expected. I just put up the poll for the February video, and let me give you a little look at the results. It's the first time I'm looking at them too. So currently in the lead with 4 votes, but again, I put this up like 5 minutes ago, but you could easily tip it one way or the other, is how would you make Justin Hammer the next big bad of the MCU, which is a terrific video idea. I'll have a lot of fun with that. Currently in 3rd place, the Nando cut of the Star Wars sequel trilogy pitch, what to keep, what to change, and how to add Jar Jar Binks. And there's a bunch of other really fun ones in there. How would you rewrite the mess that is Kingsman: The Golden Circle? What cartoon from your childhood would you like to see get the silver screen treatment, and how would you make that movie? And I hope we get that one eventually, because I do have a pitch for that would be kind of fun. I'm not going to say exactly which cartoon it would be, but it would star Vin Diesel for a very specific reason, and I think it could be a lot of fun if done correctly. But if you pledge $5 or more, you can vote on that video, and then we get to watch that video. And every month you can suggest video topics and then vote on them. It's the Illuminati. It's awesome. As always, listen to the podcast, Mostly Nitpicking. Every week, me, DJ, and Diggins pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Just in time for Valentine's Day, we just released an episode on the movie Crazy Stupid Love. We are about to record our episode on Birds of Prey or Harley Quinn or whatever we're supposed to call it now. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your podcasts. We are at NitPickingPod on Twitter. Last thing, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My handle is NandoVMovies. It's where I post updates on videos, podcasts, and where if we're all talking about something, like if Ryan Johnson is talking about a Knives Out sequel with Benoit Blanc, it's where I suggest an actor that could be the hero or the murderer, or could just be some normal person in between, because I think Jeff Goldblum should be in a murder mystery movie because he is the least readable person on earth. I don't even think Jeff Goldblum knows what Jeff Goldblum is thinking minute to minute, so he would be an amazing murder mystery character. So follow me there. That's all I got. I'll see you next time.